Hello traders, this is Julio Pinero. I'm doing today's midweek market focus. Hope you guys had a wonderful Easter break, and let's get started. Right, so I'm gonna cover some key elements, some key points. Um, the first one is esignal. I'm going to cover the basics, how to use it. Um, Today's midweek might be a bit boring for some of you. I'll try to cover some interesting stuff at the end of it. Um, but it's gonna be pretty basic, just so you know. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna cover the e-signal, how to use it, how to scroll back and forwards, and how to use the tools for backtesting and many other things. Okay. Second point is how to create a watch list in order to save time. Right at the bottom, I think I mentioned it already, but and that's a pretty crucial one as well. Um, because if you have a watch list, then it's going to be much easier for you to basically scan through the market, um, the ones that you have already picked on your watch list, so you don't have to scan through the whole thing. Um, and the last one is, well, basically you have to follow your rules. Start by following your checklist. Okay, right. Let's get started. So basically, it doesn't matter whether you're using the sniper page or the page for stocks. Um, just gonna give you some tips that hopefully will help you throughout your trading journey. So basically, I've got my usual 4 charts here. Okay, 60-minute, the 5-minute, daily chart, and the 4-hourly chart. If you want to make them bigger or smaller, use the axis. Okay, so you do. So it's not right click, but it's left click, and you drag it up and down. Okay, to expand it and contract it. Okay, if you go to the other axis, to this axis down here, where the data, you can also make it bigger and smaller, but this is horizontally. Okay, so it's horizontally, right? So this one you can make it bigger and smaller. This one as well, big and smaller. This one as well, right? And then you can move the whole chart as well. So let's say you do left click, you drag it, you release it, move the cursor again, then do left click and hold it again, drag it, release it, and then do it again and again and again, right? Just be aware that if you go straight, the price might disappear, like now, because the price is actually down there. Okay, so just be aware that you actually follow those lines there as well. All right, and down here you have the dates, and here you have the price. So here will be euro versus dollar. Okay, all the majors and minors, they're all against the US dollar. So if it says just euro, it's actually euro versus dollar. All right, and there are 3 of them that are the other way around, which are the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, and the Canadian. So it's USD Japanese yen, USD Canadian, and USD Swiss franc. Right? All the other ones, they are euro dollar, Kiwi dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar. Okay, so just those 3 are the other way around. Right. If you miss something, you can always play back and go through it again, so you can take some notes, right? That'd be very helpful. Now another thing, if it's on the Japanese yen, you're only using the first and second decimal point. Okay, first and second decimal point. So 20 pips will be 102.40 plus 20 pips will be 60. Okay, 102.40 and then 102.60 will be 20 pips. So you can also measure it here as well. You see the segment tool. If you right click on it, click on price ruler, save, 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 and you can measure 20 pips. So let's see, from 30 to 50. So let's say from here, 30 pretty much, up 20 pips, you end up in this arrow here. 20 pips and 20 pips. Done. Okay. So that's how you measure the pips. This is for the arrows. That's for the trend lines, horizontal lines, and so on. Okay. If you click on this box, this is the open, high, low, and close of each of the bars. Here is to make the lines thicker and thinner. And you can always, if you want to save some lines that you've done yourself, you can always go on page and then click on save page. Right. So for example, let's say for argument's sake you want to draw some lines here. So what you have to, oh, excuse me, remove, right click, remove. You click down here, for example, line here, and put a line there as well. Uh, okay, so you got a bit of a channel formation happening here. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's see if it's going to break through those highs there. I bought it here. I bought it there last week. This range. Let's put in new highs. Came back down, low test, entry and stop. Off we go. I got my stop here, break even. So that's fine. And now let's see what happens there. Alright. What else we've got? Yeah, so you can put the indicators down here at the bottom for those of you who are using it. If you're not using it or you haven't covered it yet, don't bother. Come for coaching, and then your coach will go through that with you and put in your charts and show you how to use it and so on. So in case you wanna know how to put it, you go right click basic studies and you have all the indicators here. You have the moving averages here, linear regression, and so on. Envelopes for snapbacks, Bollinger Bands, right? You see this line here? Basically, if it's above this line, it's gonna come on the actual chart itself. If it's below this line, it's gonna come down here as an indicator at the bottom, okay? And that's the line there. Fine. Now, if you want to remove the indicator, you can right click, remove, and you can take out the sniper. If you want to put it back, you do right click, formulas, and you have all your strategies here. Make sure you always save it, or don't save it if you don't want to have some settings that you've changed there. Now this column here, change, is pretty useful because if it's going up, if you see a plus, basically it's gone up since last night midnight. If it's red, it's gone down since last night midnight. Okay, so it's a good guidance. So basically you can go down here and you see that all these crosses down here, they're all negative, so they have all gone down, all of them. Okay, so you can see that straight away. Got some stocks here up and down, fine. And you can see here, if you see a lot of zeros, there's not a big change. Okay, 0.0010. This, to be honest, is pretty much, it's only going up 9 pips. Excuse me, since last night midnight, so not a big deal. If you see 100 and something something, right, then yeah. So by the way, ignore the last decimal point. That is now, there's 10 pips now. Okay, so we're looking at, if it's 0.01 something something, that'd be 100 pips. Okay, using the third and fourth decimal points for anything that is not the Japanese yen. Right, so also to use the e-signal, if you put the candlesticks are here, candlesticks, bar charts, lines itself, okay, all there. Click on page, you have all your pages here. For backtesting, there we go. For backtesting, we're gonna go do right click, tools, and then enter bar replay mode. Okay, and you do, if you just do, let's say there, if you do left click and then right click, you'll cut the chart from that place, and you can just play it from there, and it's just gonna play 1 bar per second. You can also change that half a second per bar, or you can go 2 seconds per bar, so it'll be pretty slow. So every 2 seconds you get 1 bar. If you do half a second and you make it bigger, this is just gonna be playing by itself in the background, which is a good exercise. It's a really, really, really good exercise. You can go to the 1 minute chart, and you can just bear with me. I have to cut the chart. Let's cut the chart from here. So pick this the one that says jump to bar. Click here, and then click on play, which is play by itself. Okay, and you see, and you can also go forward like that as well. Go forwards, backwards. You can pause it. Okay, you can jump further back, and so on. If you close it here, if you go forward like that, it's just gonna go to the last part itself, and you can close it here as well. Done. Okay, so you can do that on any chart. You can also do that on the daily chart as well, which is very, very useful. Again, yeah, this is the kiwi here. So by the look of things, well, this was giving a pretty strong divergence here. This was pushing up. This was pushing down. So there are two options here. Or it kicks off. The phase one kicks off. So basically, if it breaks through those highs, most likely will kick off to the upside. Okay, as it's giving higher highs and high lows, and it was pretty oversold here yesterday, and that's where we are now. Fine. This another one that is very, very similar, but is giving convergence. For those of you who are using divergence and convergence, is here. If you're not following, don't worry. Just carry on trading and looking for trade without the indicators at the bottom. Okay. If you have covered it earlier, then it's a good practice. And it's all right. So here is giving higher highs, and here is also giving higher highs. So it's giving convergence, and the price is giving higher highs and higher lows as well. It's a nice level of horizontal support there. I'm just gonna change the color. Bear with me for a second. Right click, just put it in that color there. Gold. Make the lines a bit thicker. Click OK. Done. So now that's a level of resistance, and resistance again and again. Breakthrough, and it becomes support. That's correct. So that's resistance, resistance, breakthrough, and it becomes support. Great. So this concrete wall is now acting as a level of support. Here was the ceiling of the house. Now it's the floor. Okay, and the EMAs are all in order. So let's see what happens here. So far, it's giving an engulfing bar, which is this previous bar is inside this bar. Let's see tomorrow if we get an inside bar. Okay, basically, if it takes this high out, then most likely it's going to be going up. It'll be the phase two will be established, so there'll be buyers buying it up here. Okay, so expecting some buyers in the market. All right, don't try and buy it now. Wait for the buyers to kick in first, and then go with them. Okay, don't just try and get in now, because you're going to get a wrong entry, and they're not buyers in the market, and also you can easily stop you out as well. Okay, you can just kind of go down and stop you out wherever you put your stop loss. Just wait for clear moves and clear patterns, basically. Wait for the market price to break through these highs here, which is a 88.50s, and with a stop loss down there, and off we go. Okay, it's been messing about for a very long time. That's why I want to see that it breaks through the upside nicely. Okay, fine. All right, let's move on. So yeah, by the way, if you a few more tips regarding esignal. If you click here, you bring it up and down. Right? Click here, you bring it up and down. If you double click on this blue toolbar, you make it bigger. And to put it back down, you click on the first square. Never click here on the minus or the cross, because you'll lose the page, or you'll minimize the page, and it's going to be hidden somewhere down there. Now, in order to create a watch list, what you have to do is okay. This is a very interesting point. Basically, sometimes you don't have this toolbar here. If you don't, then select the one at the bottom, and then scroll down. One, one, one. Scroll down several times, and you see that this toolbar here is going to become smaller and smaller. Well, first of all, will appear, and then it's going to become smaller and smaller. Yeah. So now you can use it. Oh, now you can just scroll up and down. Okay. So if it doesn't come up, if it doesn't show up, what you have to do is to select the last cell by doing left click on it, and then just go down, 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 down as far as you want, and you get the toolbar. Okay. So basically, you can scroll up and down. Fine. Now, I was going to say, yeah, how to create a watch list. Fine. So we do File, New, Quote Window. There it is, Quote Window. Put it like that. Let's say we're gonna put the euro. So we go euro space A0-FX. This is the euro versus dollar. Let's say you wanna have I don't know, some of the stocks down here, for example. So you go down here, and let's say you're gonna put Apple, for example, which by the way they're doing um, they're providing the reports for the earnings reports for Q2, which is the second quarter. So Facebook and Apple um, that releasing the earnings report for the second quarter. Okay, it's actually today. Right. So for the watches, by the way, you type the code AAPL. It's a US stock, so you don't have to put anything else. Click enter, done. Now put the last. Okay. Now if you click here and you drag it to the left hand side until this line here turns out to be highlighted, and just release it there, and do the same thing with the one next to it. So excuse me, click on the change column and then drag it to the left hand side until this line lights up. There we go, done. And then forget about everything else, put it here, and this one like that. So you can put up to 6, 7, something like that. Let's say you're gonna put, I don't know, New Zealand dollar. NZD space A0-FX. There we go. So let's say you'll have these three. Oh, right. Excuse me. So what you can do, you can put it down here, like that, and put this on top, like that. So now you can have your watch list nice and tight down here. Okay. You can even click here as well and have it really, really tight. So basically, this thing here is your watch list. Now, if you double click on the blue toolbar like that, it pops up. Okay. You can always bring it back like that, and you can maximize it and minimize it, or you can do it like that as well. It's up to you how you want to do it, but you have a separate list basically, and you can type whatever you want, any codes. Yep. And if it's not valid, it's an invalid symbol. Okay. And you can always delete them. Double click, delete them, and this one you bring it down, and you have your watches there. This watch list is gonna change. Well, depends what you're doing. If you're doing intraday trading, it will change on a day-to-day basis pretty much. If you're doing end-of-day trading, they will last for week and a half, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, yeah, and it'll be down here. Fine. Now, once you get it all sorted, do page and save page. Done. So now I have my list, my 4 time frames, and my watch list down here at the bottom. Okay. Now let's move on. So yeah, basically this is how to use all the charts. Now, if you don't have the cursor, which is there, this number here and that number there, if you don't have them, you have to do right click, cursor, click on properties and tick this box. Then you have the cursor, right? That normally happens when you create a new page, which by the way, you create a new page by clicking on file, new, advanced chart, default chart. Okay, and you get a new chart. Do it again. File, new, advanced chart, default chart. Left click, pops up. Put this one here in the corner. Make it fit. Do it again. File, new, advanced chart, default chart. Now we got two. You can put two more down here at the bottom. You can go right click, properties, background in black, text in white. Click OK. There we go. Now put the bar charts there. Bar charts up here in the corner. Up here. Bar charts. And then take out this box. This box here, we take it out there. Cursor window. And can you see the cursor is not there? There is not cursor. There's a cursor here, but not here. You can only see the actual cross without any numbers or dates or anything. So you do right click, cursor, properties, and tick this box. Okay. Then you click OK, and now you have the cursor. Now you can also change the time frame. You can go 60 enter. This is now the 60-minute time frame. If you don't have the title, it's actually there. It's in black. We cannot see it. Click on right click, edit studies, and then make it white. Then you see the title up here. If you want to put the moving averages, you can right click basic studies, moving average, and you can put, let's say, the 50 moving average. Click on red, thickness number 2, save, OK, done. Now you have the 60-minute time frame with the cursor and everything else, and the 50 moving average, and it's all bar charts. Yep. And that's how you do the whole thing. If you want to put, let's say, you put 5, enter, and you do right click, formulas, and you put the sniper one, for example. There it is. Now you have the formula for the sniper. In that case, you don't need the 50 moving average because it already comes with the actual sniper formula. Okay. Right. So yeah, that's basically how to use the esignal. Some of you are gonna find it really useful, and some of you are gonna find it really boring. So what I'm going to do now is to cover some other stuff a bit more advanced. I'm trying to look for a few things here and there. So for those of you who already know how to use the esignal, then obviously you're not going to be wasting your time. Okay. Right. So let me just refresh my mind. Bear with me. How to get a watch list in order to save some time. Follow the rules. Start by following the checklist. Right. So we got the watch list. Okay. We know how to use the esignal. Right. We got the watch list, all the currencies here, and then we know how to save it as well. Page, save page. Excellent. So now what we have to do is to take out your checklist. Doesn't matter if it's for snipers or income generators or whatever it is, and then that's the checklist you have to stick to. And then that watch list down here. Well, basically this watch list is going to be representing those opportunities in the market for whatever checklist you have in front of you. So if it's for the sniper, then let's say you wake up at 7 in the morning, switch on your computer or your laptop, and then you out of the majors and minors and the first few crosses, you have a few options, and then those 2 or 3, you're gonna put them here. So that'll be the watch list for your snipers, which is obviously in agreement with the checklist that you're using. What you have to do if you don't have a checklist yet, then you have to speak to your coach and get a checklist sorted. He'd be more than happy to give you one with some basic key elements, 4 or 5 points, nothing too complex, and then that's the watch you have to stick to. Okay. And then when you go through the checklist, then that's how you come up with your watch list. So it's all linked at the end of it. Okay. Right, let's go on to another page. I'm gonna go into stocks. Before moving into stocks, I've got gold here. giving a double bottom formation. There it is. Let's see if this level is going to be um, supported by this double bottom formation. So far it's giving a double bottom. Still okay. If you break through this low, then it's going to be going down. It's going to be going down much further. Yeah, break through this low, most likely it's going to be going down a fair amount. So let's see what happens here. Let's see if this is actually a double bottom and it's going to bounce off it and go back up again, or it's going to break through the previous swing low and then put another low down there. In that case, you'll be making lower highs and lower lows. Right, so that is gold sitting on a level right now as we speak. Very nice level. Okay, great. Let's go into the FTSE 350. There we go. Right, so here we go. EasyJet. It was giving making new highs up here, higher highs and higher lows. The 100 moving average would be quite nice on this one here, I think. Let's have a look. There we go, spot on. So it's actually bouncing off the 100 moving average. So we got price action 20, 50, 100, and 200. If you're starting to trade, just use 20, 50, and 200. That'll be already quite a lot. In fact, if you're starting, you should only use the 50 moving average. As you start understanding the market, you can also use the 20 moving average and the 200 moving average. And then in the future, if you want to have one more, I suggest to put the 100 EMA. Okay, don't put the 4 of them right at the beginning because it's going to be very messy and it's not going to be clear. So here is giving the higher highs and the higher lows sitting on the 100 moving average. Market is still bullish. As you can see on the monthly chart, it's flying. Go to the weekly. And here it's giving high highs and high lows. That is a low test bar bouncing off the 20 moving average on the weekly chart. And now we're gonna go down to the daily chart. Let's have a look what's happening here. We see several low test bars. Low test takes off. That's giving an inside bar, break through the highs, and it's now halfway through. Okay, for those of you who have taken this trade, that's a pretty nice one there. High highs, high lows, bouncing off the 100 EMA, entry up here, stop or stand there, and then just hold it. Okay, go for 2 to 1, 3 to 1s, 42 bit worth it, and just take it from there. Right, let's see what else we've got. I will leave this alone completely. Sparkles. Okay. Seems to be that it's retesting this level down here. As a level of support, breakthrough becomes resistance. Very interesting. I will leave it alone for the time being, as it's not giving new lows. Nothing. It's a big gap today. Okay, let's have a look and see what's happening here. Nothing to buy and to sell. We got one. Okay. Right. Got one here. It's definitely giving lower highs and lower lows. Lower highs and lower lows. Pretty nice tight channel going down like that. Like that. Ignore this section here. Just look at everything else apart from that. By the look of things, I wouldn't sell it just now. I will wait until pushes up a bit more. So let's say you get a high test here, nice and small. So then you can put an entry here and a stop loss there, and they can bring it back down to somewhere down here. So you can go for a nice reward risk ratio. So you're risking 30 pips. So every 30 pips pretty much will be 1%. 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 quite easily. very easily down to this section down here. Okay. Don't place it just yet, as the entry is like halfway through the cycle. It's better if it gives you some indication of potential turning points in the market, and then you'll be looking to sell it. Okay, bouncing off the 20-moving average, like that one there, for example. See the high test? So you get a few buy bars pushing up like that. Well, it's a buy bar, low test, buy bar, high test, and that was the selling opportunity. Okay, it's a beautiful trade. Lower highs and lower lows, and yeah, and you take it down to here, and it's happening again. So wait for a high test, and then you can look to sell it. Okay, so make sure you follow your checklist and your watch list. Use all the tools that I've shown you, and yeah, so basically let me just recap the back testing. Enter replay mode, click on the high test, so it's left click, right click, and then click on play, and it'll play by itself. You can make it quicker as well, and that's where we are now. Okay, you can close it here. If you want to keep it, you can always keep it there as well. You can always do tools, keep it up there, bring it down, and click on page save page. Done, and it's always going to be there for you. Okay, that's another option as well. Okay, fine. So this midweek was pretty informative, as there is not much happening in the markets. I decided to go through some basics and decided how to show you how to use the esignal itself, how to basically how to create a watch list that you can follow and you can change throughout the time, and also how to use all the tools here and there, how to draw the lines and so on. Okay, so practice with all this. By the way, if you have any questions, you have 24 hours to post it on the website beneath the actual video, and then I'll double check and get back to those questions. Right, I'm gonna leave it there. Hope you guys learned from it, and I'll be speaking to all you very soon. Okay, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, there. Bye now.